of the biggest mistakes I made when I started working out was putting so much emphasis and being so close-minded on a very, very specific range of reps and movements. And I was very, very rigid in that way. And it got to a point where I'll just do the same routine over and over again. And it would get so boring, and I would dread it. And it was something like doing 8 sets of weighted chin-ups and then 8 sets of weighted dips. And I just ended up dreading it because it was the same thing, and it was like, well, it was more of a routine than something I wanted to do. It was like a chore, basically, because it wasn't fun. And you want things, and to maximize your capacity of building muscle and all your goals, and you still want it to be fun so then it can be sustainable for you. And how I've made it sustainable for me is that, I have to work on multiple things at once. So I still want to build my base strength, I still want to build my muscle. So you have to compromise a little bit while still reaching your goals. And you don't have to just say, I'm going to do these movements and then something else and that'll lose my muscle gains. That's not how it works. As long as you're reaching failure, then you'll always build muscle. And so what I did, instead of doing 8 sets of chin-ups to failure or 8 sets of dips to failure, I've learned that, you know what, I can have other goals as well as just building muscle and building strength. I can work towards a one-arm chin-up while still having those micro tails, while still building muscles, so while still building a foundational strength. So then I started doing 2 sets of heavy pull-ups, 2 sets of heavy chin-ups, then the 4 sets I'll do progressions to one-arm chin-ups, so archer pull-ups. So, and just adding that variation, it felt shorter. It felt a lot shorter in these workout sessions because you're always changing and doing something else, but yet you're still working on those foundational muscles. And the same I did with dips, 4 sets of dips, and I noticed I was missing out a lot on upper chest, so then 4 sets of my resistance band chest presses. And in that, it feels really short because you're always like changing something, but you're always sticking to the basics and the foundations of what you need to. So having that variation doesn't compromise your goals at all, as long as you're working towards your goals in a way, if that makes sense. And I also found that another tip I would like to give is that rep ranges actually take a lot of toll on your muscles and your central nervous system and your mind. I've noticed that when I do lower reps, I feel just so much better than I am when I do higher reps. At the same time, lower reps on my pushing movements build more muscle than higher reps, but higher reps on my pulling movements build more muscle than lower reps. So I have to hit a compromise. So I have to go lower reps, I'll have more fun. So I have more fun on my push days because they're lower reps. So then I also balance my dread of higher reps by having those variations. So that's my advice to you. Change up the reps, change up the variations, but still work towards your main goals, or also work towards other goals. So anyway, thanks for watching.